Good morning. Please take your seats. Good morning and welcome to the faculty, staff, and graduates here in person and to the family and friends everywhere. Welcome to today's Arcadia University's 2022 Commencement Ceremony for our Doctor of Physical Therapy candidates. I am Jeff Rutenbeck, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost at Arcadia. Today, we honor graduates who are receiving their doctoral degrees in physical therapy. We are pleased that Dr. Philip Malloy, a member of our physical therapy faculty, will offer an invocation.
All righty, pulls down. Okay. I'd like to first thank the class of 2022 for the honor of bestowing this invocation at today's graduation. When I consulted the seminal publication of Merriam and Webster from 1828 for their definition of the meaning of the word invocation, I discovered this word meant the act or process of petitioning for help or support. As I cogitated over this definition, as I prepared for today, I started thinking about a saying that I have on a sticker that my family has on a lot of different objects, like water bottles or my laptop, coffee cups. The sticker reads, "We are all related." Over the last 2.5 years, we've learned the importance of these words more than ever. We've learned the importance and the value that each relationship brings to our lives. So as we prepare to celebrate this amazing day that we've waited 2.5 years for, let's take a moment to just acknowledge and be grateful for all of the relationships that we have in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. To those who are here with us today, I ask that if you are able, please stand for the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Now I would like to welcome to the podium Dr. Rebecca Craig, Dean of the College of Health and Sciences at Arcadia.
Hello. Thank you, Jeff. Graduates and faculty, welcome. Graduates, enjoy today's proceedings, the last official event at Arcadia University where you will be students. After today's ceremony, you will be Arcadia alumni and our physical therapist colleagues. With today's commencement, the number of alumni who hold a degree in physical therapy from Arcadia are 2,500. So you're going to join an enormous group of people. We can almost build a village. In the community and within the profession, Arcadia alumni are recognized as outstanding clinicians, scientists, professional leaders, faculty members, and administrators. And they all carry the university's tradition of lifelong learning, scholarship, and community service in their careers. I am very proud to note that our exemplary faculty includes 7 Arcadia alums. So please stand, look for them. Dr. Brian Eckenrode, Dr. Kathleen Fortier, Dr. Ann Harrington, Dr. Amy Miller, Dr. Janet Redinger, Dr. Susan Tomlinson. Karen Sawyer couldn't be here today, but she's the 7th alumna, so please. Thank you. I'm missing someone? Jesse Strawn. Jesse Strawn, please stand. Dr. Jesse Strawn. Our newest faculty member, thank you. Thank you for telling me, Brian. I would also like to thank the university president and the new board of trustees for joining our ceremony today. I would also like to thank other members of the university, families, partners, and guests who have joined us virtually. I especially want to thank Provost Jeff Rutenbeck, the Registrar Bill Elnick, and Lisa Stevens. I really appreciate your attendance in person today. Will the faculty members of the physical therapy department all please stand? We are so grateful to both faculty and staff for your amazing work. I'm going to cry. Each day you go above and beyond to educate, mentor, and support our students. Faculty members, you share your expertise and wisdom whether you are in the classroom, the laboratory, on a Zoom call, or in the hallway. On behalf of the College of Health Sciences, thank you for your leadership, scholarship, and commitment. Your efforts have helped Arcadia University achieve high esteem in our community of physical therapy. I have to go back. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Arcadia University's President, Ajay Nair, who could not be with us but wanted to send a video message to the class of 2022. Following President Nair's video, you will also meet our new chair of the Board of Trustees, John Rollins.
To the members of the Arcadia University Doctor of Physical Therapy class of 2022, congratulations. We are so proud of you. You are a special class, and none of us could have predicted the challenges and difficulties we've all faced over the past 2 years. This time also underscored just how important health sciences and administering healthcare to patients really is. However, your efforts both professionally and academically prove the depth of your strength, your determination, your talents, your abilities, and clearly your work ethic. You did it. Congratulations again. Some members of the Arcadia University DPT class of 2022 have been making a difference in their communities and in the health science profession for many years. Others are just getting ready to embark on their professional journeys. Graduates in this class are and will make a direct difference in helping people of all ages, from children to senior citizens, live their best lives. You carry on a legacy of one of Arcadia University's crowning academic programs, representing not only your graduating class, but all students and faculty at Arcadia. It comes with a great responsibility. I would also like to acknowledge the faculty and staff of our College of Health Sciences and Physical Therapy Department. Each day, you go above and beyond our daily duties to lead and mentor our students and provide expert guidance in the classroom and in the health science profession and beyond. On behalf of Arcadia University, I thank you for your leadership and your commitment to our students and to our university. We are so grateful to you. Graduates, I wish you the best in your professional careers, and I am so proud that you are representatives of our great university. You are among the leaders in this physical therapy profession, and that gives me great optimism for what you will accomplish and the impact that you will continue to make on our communities and on individuals. Once again, congratulations.
Good morning, students and faculty in the Arcadia University Physical Therapy program. It's my honor to address you briefly during this day of celebration. Throughout my professional career, building relationships and trust have been at the core of my efforts. In your profession and in your schooling, you have undoubtedly seen the importance of building relationships with colleagues, with faculty members, with students, with industry professionals, and especially with patients. You have surely seen how building trust-based relationships improves your schooling, your profession, and the lives of your patients. Patients who trust you will share more information about themselves, allowing you to provide better, more personalized care and support. So remember what you have learned while at Arcadia and the experiences you have had here. Build upon the relationships that you have made and continue to invest in trust with your colleagues and your patients. Those investments will pay dividends that you can see make a difference throughout your career for your patients, your colleagues, and for yourself. I've been part of the Arcadia community for many years, and I have been repeatedly impressed by the accomplishments and commitments of our students, faculty, staff, and graduates. Class of 2022, remain committed to your professions, to your colleagues, to your patients, and to your communities. Your leadership and vision are needed now more than ever. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you to both. Now I would like to invite to the podium one of your favorites, Dr. Phil McClure, Professor and Chair of the Department of Physical Therapy, for introduction to our keynote speaker.
Thank you, Dean Craig. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Lori Hack. Dr. Lori Hack has a long and sustained history of service to the physical therapy profession as a clinician, an educator, a researcher, and an academic leader. She is Professor Emeritus in the Department of Physical Therapy at Temple University. She holds a BA from Wilmington College, an MS as the first professional degree in physical therapy from Case Western Reserve University, an MBA from the Wharton School at the University of Penn, a PhD in higher education administration from the University of Penn, and a DPT from the MGH Institute of Health Professions. Dr. Hack has a rich clinical experience in outpatient, nursing home, and home care practice, and is taught in the areas of practice management, geriatrics, clinical decision-making, evidence-based practice, ethics, and healthcare systems. She is co-author of 2 books, Expertise in Physical Therapy Practice and Evidence into Practice. She has been a co-investigator on a kind of an important and landmark study and grant entitled Physical Therapist Education for the 21st Century, Innovation and Excellence in Physical Therapist Education, that has led to numerous publications and presentations. Dr. Hack has served as president of the Home Health Section, the Health Policy and Administration Section, and the Academy of Physical Therapy Education. She has served as both Vice Speaker and Secretary to the APTA Board of Directors. Her APTA honors include being named a Catherine Worthingham Fellow of the APTA, the Lucy Blair Service Award, and the Bethke Carlin Award for Teaching Excellence. Most recently, she was also awarded and delivered the 2018 Macmillan Lecture entitled Wisdom and Courage. So Lori, welcome, and we look forward to your comments.
They told me I could take this off while I'm standing here. I'm far away from everybody, and I hope you don't mind. If anybody does, raise your hand, I'll put it back on. Okay, I want to send my greetings to Provost Rutenbeck, Registrar Enlick, Dean Craig, Becky, Dr. McClure, Phil, all the faculty, and to Ms. Kelly Benedict, who did such a great job coordinating my getting here. But I want to especially thank you because you invited me. I was so excited when I got the notice from Katie that you had wanted me to come and speak to you. Professional education is different than other college education. We stay friends with old college roommates and classmates, but we share careers with our PT school colleagues. And as faculty, we are educating you to join us as colleagues. Your career will last 50 years, maybe more than that now. My career's lasted 50 years, and I'm not stopping, so you will live longer than I will. So there's a lot of time out there for you to be able to stay in touch with each other, to share clinical skills and interests, and to watch your families change and grow. This may be especially true of your class, given what you've experienced the last 3 years. I had a great conversation with Ilana, Ashley, Katie, Bridget, and Veronica a few months ago. I knew what it was like to live through PT school. I did it myself, and I've experienced it with hundreds and hundreds of students over my career, but I had no idea what it was like for you during this time. They told me about the confusion and shock at the first immediate shutdown. Maybe some of you were not in your own apartments, or you were not in places where you were with friends and family. You all wondered how your education would progress, and as time wore on, things seemed to even get more confusing. Once you were able to move into clinical sites, you were dealing with the PPE or not having the PPE you needed. It was uncertain about the safety of being there at all, especially for those of you who were living with people at higher risk. It was learning how to work with patients when you couldn't see their faces, assessing movement when you couldn't see them move, learning to be a PT without the most fundamental of the tools that we use. When you returned to the classroom, it was also not in person. So it meant learning to spend hours every day in Zoom classes. As one of you said, it was hard to see your friends but not be with your friends, and maybe even harder to be in front of that camera all day long. You teachers felt the same way. Just over 100 years ago, Mary Macmillan was starting the first PT program at Reed College. Those women in training there were facing a world war in the midst of the Spanish flu epidemic. Sound familiar? I've heard a PT historian, Beth Linker, Becky and I actually heard her give this talk together, talk about analyzing some primary sources about those days. She had access to the letters written home by the very first PT students. And do you know what they told their families? It wasn't worrying about the war or the Spanish flu epidemic. They spent all day in class, and all evening they had to study, and they were really tired that they had no time to do any exercise or for social life. So you are now part of a long and proud tradition. But you stuck with this, just like PTs do, just like those PTs did. While dealing with having to learn too much in unfamiliar and uncomfortable ways, you did master what you needed to learn to be good healthcare practitioners, to be members of our valued profession. And you found time to open a pro bono clinic and create the Multicultural Leadership Alliance, responding to one of those other major crises we have faced these past few years. I imagine some of you also went to work on the climate crisis. But you also found time to play trivia with your friends and family on that same Zoom platform, and my guess is you found other uses for Zoom that they didn't tell me about on the phone call. When I was doing home care, Phil mentioned the clinical portion of my career, I would come home from doing home care. I did my home care in North Philadelphia, around Temple. And I would say to my husband that the deciding factor for me that meant people would succeed in their rehab was whether they could cope. That was the word I came up with, coping. Angela Duckworth has become famous talking about what I think is that same trait as grit. And NASA named a device that has to last for years in a really harsh environment on Mars, perseverance. Whatever you call it, you all have it, and you should be proud of that. You also have another quality that is essential to being a good physical therapist. In my conversation with your classmates, they said they really thought the 2 classes behind them had it even harder than you did in dealing with the effects of COVID, That takes empathy to step out of your own difficult situation and recognize distress in others. In an earlier talk, Phil mentioned there, I gave a talk about wisdom and courage. Wisdom is not simply knowledge. Heaven knows they've stuffed a lot of that into your heads the past 3 years. But knowing how to use that knowledge is what makes us wise rather than just smart. Too often we let cognitive biases interfere with our appropriate use of knowledge. And one such bias, I hear about a lot at my house because my husband helped explore it. He's a cognitive behaviorist. It's called outcome bias. I want you to think about this a lot because it has a very profound effect in our lives. It's called a decision, not just an outcome bias, but a decision trap. I guarantee that you will all have bad outcomes in life, both professionally and personally. And it's a good idea to reflect on what led to those bad outcomes. But always recognize that expecting good decision-making to result always in good outcomes denies reality. In reality, what is termed unexplained outcome variance occurs, especially in healthcare, as most biological events have some level of uncertainty. There are other reasons why outcomes cannot be certain. We call these luck, chance, or fate. The presence of this unexpected variance means at times good decision-making results in an unwanted outcome. We call that being unlucky. And we sometimes use less than optimal decision-making, but have more positive outcomes than we should have, and we call that being lucky. But as my husband, the decision analyst, says to my sister, the lottery ticket buyer, based on the odds, anyone who wins the lottery made a bad decision about how to spend his or her money, despite that really good outcome. Now, why do we care about this? As I said, we tend to focus more on outcomes than on process. Therefore, when the outcome is negative, we tend to assume the process was poor. And when the outcome is positive, we tend to assume the process was good. When we rely too heavily on those outcomes from the past, we make mistakes planning for the future. We can think of examples of this in our lives. Perhaps when you, as children, did something wrong and it resulted in a bad outcome, a broken lamp or something else. Let me try it again. Perhaps when you were children, you were chastised when you broke that lamp or put a dent in the car, even though you might not have done anything wrong. But if there were no negative outcomes from whatever happened, we'd say, oh well, no harm done. So as children, we didn't get a chance to learn whether our decision-making processes was actually resulting in good outcomes or not. It's not a good way to develop good decision-making, and it's not a good way for us to make good decisions with our patients. There are lots of other great lessons to be learned from cognitive psychology. I'm not going to give you that whole lecture today. That's like a PhD in itself. But if you're interested, try learning Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman or Nudge by Richard Thaler. They're very readable books. They're what are called trade books. You can give up textbooks for a little while, just a little while. We also need courage. And there are many problems we face in this complex, challenging world. I'm not going to expand on those big existential issues that your generation will need to solve for the rest of us. Nor will I address the large problems facing the profession, although you will need to work with your colleagues to address those. But I will address some issues that might affect you as new practitioners. In your academic and clinical faculty, you have met outstanding practitioners who clearly have the patient's best interests in their central focus. But it's not like that everywhere in PT. This past month, Medicare indicted a PT practice in the Erie area for fraud and abuse. They didn't indict just the owners or the accountants. They indicted all the PTs and PTAs practicing in that practice. I believe it was about 15 people. Several of them were recent graduates. I think it most likely those young PTs went to work in this practice because they were promised the best salaries. And that sounds really good right now. I understand that decision. What happened next? Here's where decision-making and courage might have been lacking. Once they became aware of the billing practices, they didn't leave, let alone report it. I've talked to many PTs in just this position, and I've heard all the reasons they stayed. It would look bad on my resume if I left too soon. Other employers won't trust me. I really need the bonus I've been promised. This is an example of outcome bias at work and a lack of courage. If you ever find yourself in such a situation, find the courage to leave. Make the right decision. And there may be other times when you are challenged where you need to find both wisdom and courage to make the right decisions for yourself and your patients. Remember, you have a lot of supports out there as you seek to do that. First, you have each other. You know each other so well. Sometimes a little too well, feels a little frustrating, but then you remember all the good things that you know about each other. These friends and colleagues will always be a wonderful support for you. And then there are their mentors, whom you've already met, and the ones you will meet throughout your career. Research shows that mentors are one of the most important resources leading to success in life. Reach out to people who you think will help you improve your care and strengthen your practice. No matter how famous these people might be, I guarantee they will respond to a request for assistance, although that does assume you've done your homework first. If someone doesn't respond to you, let me know. I will take them to task for it. Of course, I can't forget to mention, after Phil gave you that little resume, one of the greatest resources you have, the American Physical Therapy Association. The APTA can support you in so many ways to develop best practice, with access to literature, continuing education programs, professional development like residency and clinical specialization, all aimed at helping you be the best PT you can be. And APTA is a great resource to meet your colleagues, some of whom will become those mentors, some of whom will become friends, some of whom will be both. All it takes is a little bit of dues and an occasional volunteer contribution. So take advantage of those new professional discounts that are available to you right now, and better yet, talk to your employer about paying those APTA dues. Always consider the impact of your decisions on others. Everything we do must honor our patients and be done in their best interests. I'm going to scrap what I had written a few days ago because I woke up this morning and said, that's just not positive enough. You guys have lived through enough that all you should get is positivity the rest of your lives. So I started thinking about us as PTs, and that led me into a little train of thought. So as PTs, we're fixers. We look at a problem, and we don't say, okay, that's the way it is. We look at a problem, and we say, how can we make it better? That's what we do. That's what we do in our lives with our patients, and because it's so much a part of what we do, it's probably what we do in our personal lives, too. You might even frustrate some of your family members because you're always trying to fix things. I do. So I was thinking about that, and I was also thinking about some reading I've been doing on a concept called learned optimism. I don't know if you've heard of this, but a Penn faculty member, Marty Seligman, started talking this about 30 years ago. And he looked at optimism and saw the benefits of being an optimistic person. There are lots of benefits. They live longer, they have less stress, they're generally happier people. I'm an optimist, I live with a pessimist, I'm well aware of these differences. And he said, well, maybe I can help people learn to be optimistic. And he thought about that for a long time, and he was also working with people who, Aaron Beck, who started the whole cognitive behavioral therapy thing. And so that really thinking, how can I help people learn to think like an optimist, even if they're not? And his point was you can. He believes you can learn to do this. That when negative circumstances happen, instead of saying, oh my, oh me, things are bad, you say, oh my, oh me, what can we do to make it better? And that's who we are as physical therapists. We think, how can we make it better? I am so confident that you will go forward. You will make your personal lives better. You will make physical therapy better. I'm counting on you to make the world better. So go out there and make it better. Thank you.
Do you know how lucky we are to have her? Thank you so very much, Lori. That was great. Okay, now we will get to hear from two student speakers who were selected by an overwhelming margin by their fellow classmates. Dr. Lauren Kelly, to be future Dr. Lauren Kelly, and future Adriana Pilo.
If you know us, it's probably not very surprising that we're both up here giving this speech side by side, as Adriana and I have been for much of our DPT journey. While it is very important for us as friends to do this, it is also very important for our whole class to be the first class to have peers deliver the graduation speech together. Our cohort has faced and overcome so many unprecedented challenges throughout our time at Arcadia. Through the midst of a pandemic, we have opened a pro bono clinic, created a diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative, completed service trips, and mastered Zoom school, in addition to all of the expected challenges that DPT school has to offer.
Arcadia has always instilled in us a spirit of camaraderie and never one of competition. This valuable foundation of teamwork that was provided for us on the first day of class is what allowed us to continue persevering and growing amidst all the turmoil the past few years have brought. We hope these monumental years continue shaping the way you approach the rest of your lives. Never forget that there is strength in coming together, and always consider all that can be accomplished when you choose to grow with those around you.
To our fellow graduates, I know we have heard the statement far too often, but I don't know how we made it through PT school like this. To quote Dr. Amy Miller, it has been treacherous and crooked, but we made it. Let this speech be a reminder that we made it through because we did it together. Let these 2.5 years show that you are capable of accomplishing far more than you could have imagined. We were so lucky to have gotten to know each other and have gained so much more than just knowledge. We have full confidence that you will take all that you have learned and bring it into the world with you. The colleagues and patients that you work with within the future will be so lucky to have each and every one of you. We want to encourage you to continue with this growth mindset in your next steps and be the first ones to push ahead when faced with adversity. We know you will accomplish so much.
To our faculty, thank you for never giving up on our education. From Labapalooza to this very commencement ceremony, you have never stopped fighting for this class. And a special thank you to the Dean and the Provost for letting this graduation happen. Our faculty, you've always taken time to make sure our voices were heard and never hesitated to take action reflecting what we needed. Thank you for instilling your knowledge, offering your support, and providing us with comedic relief. The impact you've made is the reason why we are sitting here today as bright-minded clinicians. It's obvious how much you care for us as individuals and have each played a large role in shaping us. While we are ready to move on, we'll always remember Dr. McClure's grandkid updates, Murphy Girl, Brian's Zoom backgrounds, the famous lightsaber fight, and last but not least, the silver suit.
And to our loved ones watching, thank you for supporting us long before this wild thing we call PT school even started. Whether you were the one who inspired us to go to PT school, gave us money for that coffee that we really needed, or the one who understood why we had to cancel our plans in order to study, we appreciate you. No matter how big or small, each act of support is a part of how we made it here today. You have been there for us when we needed a shoulder to cry on or a bright smile to laugh with. We could not have made it through without you and the encouragement that you have provided.
We thought we'd leave you with some final words of wisdom. It's okay to not know the answer, but know what questions to ask.
You are not expected to do it alone. Use your peers and teammates around you.
In the world of Zoom, please don't forget to mute your mics.
And the true answer to every question is,
It depends.
That was wonderful. Thank you so very much. Now we present a special award, the Carol Lieber Physical Therapy Commitment Award. Would Dr. McClure return to the podium to help present this award?
Thank you, Lauren and Adriana. In 2018, the PT department established a new award to acknowledge and honor an outstanding individual whose contributions to the department are of exceptional and enduring value. The award is named after its first recipient, Dr. Carol Lieber. Dr. Lieber established the Dan Aaron Stay Fit program in 2004, which is a community exercise program for individuals with either Parkinson's disease or multiple sclerosis. She continues to volunteer her time supporting this program. The award is designed to honor an individual who has demonstrated commitment to the physical therapy department in a substantive way that has enhanced both the PT program and the student experience. And this year, we are so pleased to make this award to Dr. Marcella V. Ridenauer. And I think we have a picture of her, maybe, or no? There she is. Marcy has been a friend of the department for many years. Her daughter Mary graduated from our program in 2009. Marcy has generously supported our Dan Aaron Stay Fit program for individuals with chronic neurologic disabilities for many, many years. This program not only serves members of the community who have significant physical disabilities, but it also provides crucial development experiences for students who build relationships and learn to work with people who have neurologic disabilities. Marcy's generosity has helped to defray costs to participants and supported the presence of experienced physical therapists serving as supervisors. So Marcy, we are so pleased to be able to acknowledge your support of the department with this award, and congratulations. Now I'll invite Dr. Root back to the podium.
Thank you, Phil. On behalf of Arcadia University, I offer to the physical therapy faculty and staff, and most importantly to the graduating students, my congratulations to the Doctor of Physical Therapy class of 2022. We will now proceed to the conferring of the degrees and the presentation of the doctoral hoods to our graduates.
Will the candidates for the doctoral degree in physical therapy please rise? Provost Rutenbeck, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have completed the requirements for the degree of the Doctor of Physical Therapy.
On the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Arcadia University Board of Trustees, and Arcadia President Ajay Nair, I hereby confer upon the candidates for Doctor of Physical Therapy their degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Will our program support specialist Labrisha Taylor approach the podium to announce the name of the degrees?
Will the first row of candidates come forward with the marshals and the other students be seated? Gregory Baumstein. With distinction. Dr. Victoria Sandra Brady. Dr. Justin Brodigan, with distinction. Dr. Marie Brockman, with distinction. Dr. Robert Warren Bush, Jr. Dr. Madeline Rose Corcoran, with distinction. Dr. Audrey Mae Damewood. Dr. Layla Darian. Dr. Hope Dariff, with distinction. Dr. John A. Deep III, with distinction. Dr. Bernadette Dezo. Dr. Dakota Rose Dion, with distinction. Dr. Caitlin Farrell, with distinction. Dr. Jessica L. Feeser, with distinction. Dr. Kelly Fitzpatrick. Dr. Phoebe Hannah Frank, with distinction. Dr. Casey Fry, with distinction. Dr. Sarah Gillisy, with distinction. Dr. Jocelyn Hornick. Dr. Isabel Ann Hauser, with distinction. Thank you. Dr. Joseph James Caputo. Dr. Michael Katkosin. Dr. Lauren Kelly, with distinction. Dr. Jordan Blake Knupfel. Dr. Benjamin Kwong. Dr. Alexander Thomas Lunsman. Dr. Emily Rose Lynn. Dr. Bridget Ann McGee. Dr. Stephanie Francis Maggio. Dr. Michael Lawrence Mangan. Dr. Michael Matriciano. Dr. Rachel Nicole McEwen. Dr. Alyssa Hope McMinn with distinction. Dr. Olivia Meyer. Dr. Marina Miglioretti. Dr. Hannah Jane Olszewski. With distinction. Dr. Kayla Nicole Parsons with distinction. Dr. Adriana Miley Pujol. Dr. Jasmine Pineda. She needs some assistance. Right. Dr. Fula Protopapas. Dr. Nisha Rell. Dr. Julia Ellen Reardon. Dr. Catherine Sawyer, with distinction. Dr. Tyler James Chateau. Dr. Erin Elizabeth Snyder. Dr. Lawrence Starr. Dr. Elena Joy Taberi. Alana, apologies. Dr. Ashley Nicole Troxel. Dr. Ryder David Verdoni. Dr. McKenna Marie Welsh. Dr. Catherine Lindsay Whitty. Dr. Megan Zimmerman. Please join me in also recognizing 3 fellow graduates who could not be with us today, but are watching remotely. Dr. Michaela Shea Fallon, with distinction. Dr. Amber Lynn Nordhagen. Dr. Veronica Jean Pontus.
I want to echo my thanks that have already been expressed to so many people who worked diligently to be sure you could be here today. So thank you, Lisa Stevens. Thank you to our staff, to Kelly and Ellen and Bree and Marty and Kate, and to the provost and the dean. Thank you all for allowing this to happen and being here. Thank you, Bill, for being here. And Lori, thank you for your comments. And I want to thank everyone who participated today, many who are unfortunately not in this room. Family and friends, your support of these graduates is so critical, and we thank you for being here, albeit virtually, to celebrate this significant achievement and the success of these graduates. We know that you play a huge part in their success. To the physical therapist class of 2022, congratulations. You are now doctors of physical therapy, and we are so proud of you. In addition to the support from family and friends, it took a broad community of faculty, staff, master clinicians, and patients to help you achieve this milestone. Our mission states that we want to prepare physical therapists to excel in evidence-based practice, discover new knowledge, assume leadership roles, work collaboratively with other professions, and optimize global health. On behalf of the faculty, we believe you are there, so congratulations. In addition to your 36 weeks of direct clinical education, you persevered through 20 case-based units plus PT 605 and anatomy, much of it complicated by a pandemic. According to my very rough calculations, you have viewed well over 18,000 PowerPoint slides and answered well over 3,300 test questions, and you are still smiling. 13 of you participated in an international clinical experience in Guatemala. More than half of you took on additional optional leadership roles, either as an SPTA class officer, a pro bono clinic board member, a physical therapy multicultural leadership alliance board member, or as a teaching assistant. All of this within a very challenging curriculum and a very challenging pandemic. Your passion, your dedication, your resilience, and your servant spirit inspire us. So thank you. All right, I have one last big picture thought. My personal belief is that life is about relationships, and that's kind of been a theme through the morning, and it was exciting for me to hear that. My own conviction is that the quality of life is primarily a function of the quality of your relationships. And I want to suggest that your professional life is no different. And I believe there are 3 key relationships you need to pursue and nurture. The first is strong peer relationships, someone beside you. You, as we have heard, have had this relatively easy the last 2.5 years. It's been a true joy to watch you relate to each other. You work hard, but you also play hard, and you laugh at yourselves in a beautiful way. Many of you have built lifelong relationships, but strong peer relationships will become harder. Where you work and with whom you work will influence who you become professionally. Be intentional about planning and having meaningful communication and discussion with your peers. If no forum exists, seek one out or create one. If there is no interest from your peers, move on. I am so thankful for my colleagues on the faculty and staff and how they continue to encourage and inspire me on an almost daily basis. Where you work and with whom you work will influence who you become. The second relationship is someone ahead of you on the journey. I've had several influential mentors over my career, and each one has contributed significantly to my development. I can't imagine where I might be without these people. Don't just hope this happens, though. Seek it out, intentionally, respectfully. Persist at it and look for it wherever you can. Build a relationship with someone ahead of you and find excuses to just spend time with them. If you're not sure how to start, try this question. Hey, if I buy you a cup of coffee, can I ask you 3 questions? Find a great mentor and invest time and effort with them. Listen and learn from them, and it will enrich your journey greatly. The third relationship, you may have guessed by now, is probably the most important. That's someone behind you on the journey, and this is absolutely key. To develop yourself, you need to be investing in someone else's development. Early in your career, this might be a college or a high school student looking for guidance or a role model. But very quickly, most of you will be in a position to say yes when you're asked to take on a student intern or mentor a younger staff member. Go for it. You are now alumni. We need you. We know you don't have money to send us for quite a while. But you have time and you have incredible talent to help those coming behind you. think about the last 6 months and the people who influenced your professional development. Please partner with us in making an Arcadia PT education a deep, rich, and inspiring experience, and allow us to help you however we can. To develop yourself, you need to be investing in someone else's development. So here's the summary slide, guys. Strong peers beside you, someone ahead of you, someone behind you. Now, you have the wonderful privilege of going out and caring for people who need your help. We encourage you to do it with joy and with passion. On behalf of your faculty, congratulations again, and we look forward to hearing about your journey. Congratulations.
Thank you, Phil. This has been an amazing day. Yeah. Congratulations. First, as a physical therapist and a member of the Department of Physical Therapy, and second, as a Dean of the College of Health Sciences, I want to express my gratitude to you for selecting our physical therapy program. Please, please practice at the top of your license. As Lori said, stay involved with the APTA that just began its 101st year. Remember to lead or walk alongside of your team members rather than follow. I know that you're equipped with excellent clinical knowledge and hopefully soon wisdom and skills competency, and that you have incredible social compassion. All of this is needed to help all of our citizens get and remain healthy. I challenge you to help reduce health disparities and improve our healthcare systems to focus on access for all. This concludes our ceremony. Once again, Arcadia University congratulates all of our graduates here today, and we thank you for sharing this special day with us.